Hey, thanks for joining me. We're going to look at Cybrid #1 from Maximum Press. But before we get to it, just a quick reminder to people, I got my own comics. I've got a Masters of the Universe fan comic. I have 6 graphic novels of a He-Man Masters of the Universe fan comic. These are volumes 1, 2, and 3 right in front of you there. I also have volumes 4, 5, and 6. It's a big, complete story of just a fan comic. I know the term fan comic could scare a lot of people away, but I just kind of made the kind of comic that I always wanted to see and just put in my heart and soul and my best efforts into this. They're all graphic novel sized, big, thick books, and they're a lot more kind of an adult take on the He-Man idea, the concept of the 80s cartoon. So I have volumes of these available if you're interested. I also have a sketchbook. Female figure sketchbook. Lots of fun stuff going on in this if anybody's interested in that one. I've also got copies of this Ghost Agents book. It's a big treasury size, I believe is the terminology. It's really big. It's printed on newsprint, and I got the opportunity to have a 6-page story added into this book, and they recently sent me a bunch of copies as compensation for reprinting my artwork in another printing. So I've got big copies of this available. So here's some of my work right here. I've got these available, and just besides my own artwork in these, there's tons of fantastic looking stuff inside this, all on this glorious newsprint. Can't recommend it enough. So if you're interested, hit me up and we'll get copies in your hands. But on to Cybrid #1. This is a character I saw a lot in the era of the 90s. A bunch of ads for it, and just this picture of this guy, a cybernetic guy with laser weapons and claws. I mean, how original, right? It seemed really like, what's the hook on this? You know, I always wondered, and I never knew. Some months ago, maybe about a year ago even, I got my hand on this Extreme Studios book. I can't remember what it was called. Extreme something. It was just a collection of short stories by all the artists working at the Extreme Studios at the time. And little 4 or 5 page previews of books that were going to come out from these guys, most of which I don't think happened. But at the beginning, Liefeld did like a 4 or 5 page preview of Cybrid. He was just a cybernetic guy hanging out in a cemetery, lamenting about how his life has been lost and ruined, and the love of his life is lost and ruined, and he's a tortured hero, and he fights ninjas. And it was very cliche and boring, and also very poorly drawn. So my friend Latik Curry, who just keeps hooking me up with all kinds of books that he finds, sent this to me, and I was legitimately interested to see what this might be like. As far as the cover, it's Liefeld. It's kind of not bad. It does kind of fly in the face of the characterization that's inside the book. We're going to get to that, obviously, but the guy is tortured, sad, and pissed that his life has been altered because he's been turned into this cybernetic killing machine. And the story kind of reads like he's sad and not happy and doesn't like what he's become. This picture of this guy looks like an insane Joker type killer. Like, look at that face. So it kind of doesn't fit. It kind of gives you an idea of what this character might be. That's not actually what the character is in the book. But as far as a Liefeld drawing, it's kind of fine. The coloring's kind of fine. It's kind of fine. It's not the worst thing he's ever done. It's okay. So obviously creator's Liefeld, and he comes up with the basic plot. He's like, there's a cybernetic guy, and he's been turned into the ultimate warrior, not the wrestler. And he's sad. And he fights ninjas. Okay, Garrett Omata, whoever that is, co-plotter and script, go make a book about, sad cybernetic murderer hero who's sad and he fights ninjas. So Garrett Omata takes the book, whoever he is, I don't know that name from anywhere, and I feel like he kind of turned it into something that is not bad, honestly. I was actually kind of surprised. Penciler Sam Liu. That's a name that's vaguely familiar to me. I know I've seen it. I don't know much about who that is. I don't know what kind of work this artist has done previous to this. This is 95. It's the guy's obviously, this Sam Liu is obviously very talented. He's got a lot of skills. I feel like he's got a lot more skills from what I'm assuming is a kind of a beginner penciler. Not saying that this is his first works, but I'm just kind of assuming earliest works, if not his first works. And it's pretty good. There's some parts where the kind of aesthetic of the day, the need to draw big, crazy, dynamic images in the hands of a younger, less experienced artist kind of makes the storytelling a little bit harder to follow than is necessary. But overall, it's not bad. I gotta say, I was going to notice that I've already flipped through this, obviously. And I was noticing I really like the coloring, but I didn't pay attention until just right now who did the colors. Christian Lickner. That guy knows what he's doing. And the coloring is pretty damn good in this book. You got Danny Meeke on inks with an ink assist by Robert Hedden, whoever that is. So all in all, as far as the guy who's actually co-plotter and scripter, Gary Omada and Sam Liu, those are kind of like the stars of the show, really. Those are the guys crafting the story. You got the writing and the actual penciling, the storytelling, the dynamic imagery. Those are the guys who are kind of the microscope is on, right? It's not bad. I was legitimately shocked. So Malibu, California, it looks like it's in Malibu, California, but it looks like some kind of like ancient Japanese structure. We've got ninjas. I don't know that's necessary to have the ninja's hand and the sword breaking the border and also having the panel borders down here kind of at a weird angle, like cutting across like that, because the sword is also kind of at an angle. It doesn't ruin anything, but it's kind of an unnecessary weird panel shape thing. I've kind of always railed against a little bit artists doing weird panel border shit that doesn't really help anything. It doesn't affect anything. It doesn't let your eye fall through the page easier. It doesn't add to the composition. It's just to be weird. Like I said, it doesn't ruin anything, but it just feels unnecessary. I don't know why this guy's little ninja mask trailing little ribbon here is not breaking the border up there, but it is down there. Whatever. They go to this structure, ninjas. If there's ever going to be ninjas, they should be undead ninjas with laser blades, right? Isn't that kind of a cliche anime thing? They could be undead for all we know. I mean, their swords could light up into lasers for all we know. They ninja flip onto the roof, look down through a hole in the roof, and there's a fire burning in front of a giant Buddha statue, and there's a guy meditating. They look down, we get a close-up, super dramatic lit face of what's obviously going to be our hero. There's a lot of narration going on in this book, but also a lot of narration from several different characters. If I had to give a critique, there's a lot of characters and a lot of monologuing and internal monologuing, and I kept kind of getting lost on occasion, like, wait, who's this and who's this character and why are they talking now? Whatever. Splash page of undead ninjas with laser blades jumping down. Of course, the moon is right behind them. Why not? It's pretty dynamic. Again, the coloring, it borders on going too far, maybe, with some of the highlight glows, but it's just bordering on it, but not crossing it. So it works pretty well. Story, Chrysler, dysfunctional families. Oh, I'm sorry, this is Chrysalis. Sure. Okay. Undead ninjas jump down. They got the standard ninja shits of Wolverine claws, swords, bows and arrows. Hopefully there's nunchucks and sais and stuff. We just got the turtles going on here. Ninjas jump down, and I guess he just land. And there's our hero, and he's meditating. I like how all these ninjas are like, they're even wearing different colored shit. Red ones and blue ones or whatever the hell color. I did kind of read this, and I don't know that I noticed a reason for the different coloring. Who knows? But they're all just kind of standing there with this motherfucker right above his head. Looks like he's about to use this giant 12-foot long sword and chop his fucking head off. And then dude back here, The scale's way off. That guy's way too tiny for the size of the hole of the roof. He's a little tiny ninja. They're jumping down, and Cybrid, his first name's Jonah. He's Jonah Cybrid. He wants to be left in peace, but that's not going to happen. So he opens his eyes, flashes with some rage. The battle's on. Let's go. Let's start kicking ass. He turns. Yeah, so I'm guessing ninja jumping down with the 12-foot sword strikes, and Jonah Cybrid with his metal arms blocks the blade, snaps it, and I did have to kind of stare at this drawing. It was like the pose is so extreme. I was like, okay, hand and then leg coming for. Oh, okay, I got it. It's kind of cool. It's a little bit too far. I don't know. It's fine. You know, this is one of those things where one person like me might look at it and go, I don't know. It's maybe let's pull it back or try a different angle. And another person might look at it and go, fucking awesome. That's badass. Perfect. Let's go. I like, and I want to give full respect to the artist for giving like the swords and all these weapons, like a lot of detail. The guy's putting in a lot of time and effort to get the details on these things right. I like it. I respect it. So did he kill the guy? I don't know. Maybe. Other ninja comes down, fires arrows, and Jonah Cybrid just swipes his hand the other direction, snaps the arrows. And so the internal thoughts of our hero here, again, it's trying to be way more, I don't know. How do I put this? It's like the writer's trying to give the narration, the inner thoughts of the character, like a more mature, grown-up kind of sensibility than the book probably needs or has earned. He's talking about, I could have stayed and shared their cold. Like, he used to be part of this group. He's trying to get away from these ninjas. He's like, I could have stayed with them. I could have stayed and shared their cold meals. I could have slept in the damp rooms of the monasteries and woke each morning to the sound of bow shafts flying past my head. I could have kept killing for them. I was created, they told me, to be the best, an unfeeling vessel of sheer inhuman destruction. In some ways, they succeeded. I will kill with the efficiency of the greatest warrior, but what keeps me from falling back into their ranks where they failed is that I am not inhuman. So, if you've ever read any comics from the 90s, you've read all of this. He's just an unstoppable, remorseless killing machine made by the bad guys. It's the Wolverine story. And many, many others. He was made to be an unstoppable killing machine, but he doesn't want to be. And he grabs Ninja, shooting him with arrows, and we find out it's Ninja Bitch. It's a girl. And he sees girl Ninja Bitch, and it reminds him of his own bitch. And he's like, oh, I loved my bitch. So Ninja Bitch gets to go free. He does not kill her. He does not pop her head off like a pimple. He's got a heart. He's not a remorseless killing machine. Good job, Jonah Cybrid. Somebody farts some fire, I guess. He's up here and just fire everywhere. Keeps fighting him. Stabbing, punching, murdering, mayhem. Cut back to corporate offices. Some hot girl in a chair smiling. They're watching through some kind of monitors to see the battle going on. And girls talking to guy who we don't see for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 panels, just a close-up of his head. Corporate bad guys needing to go see the ultimate bad guy. And so they go into his giant skyscraper techno building here. That's cool. And then it just cuts to a guy mountain climbing. And I guess this is the guy they were talking about on the previous page. The guy who's in charge. He's eccentric. He's weird. He's mountain climbing, I guess. The visuals are kind of hard to decipher, and they go out of their way to not show the guy's face until here. And I don't know why it matters. I don't know why they went to that much effort to conceal his identity as he climbs rocks. They're having conversations back and forth. I guess the video feed goes staticky for a second. They feel like they're worried that he almost fell, but he didn't. They're like, oh shit, but hey, we're trying to do this stuff that you asked us to do. We're trying to be bad guys like you want us to be. And again, the guy mountain climbing is kind of a That angle, that's a tricky one. That's what's the word I'm looking for? Took a lot of kind of specific drawing skill. I wonder if he referenced something. Like that's a tricky angle. But I guess we're trying to demonstrate that the guy who's in charge, the bad guy, I guess, he's all about physicality, living dangerously. He's not just a weak pushover sitting in a chair in a suit. He's a badass. He can climb onto things. And then he gets up there, and I guess I was trying to like figure out what the hell he's doing with his hands. I'm like, is he's in some kind of like ninja samurai pose, or is he just like dusting his hands off? Because he just gets up there and he's just like, just wiping the dust free of his hands. But in terms of an anatomical drawing, again, the artist, that's pretty good. But yeah, we've been introduced to the bad guy. Oh, back to undead ninjas with laser blades fighting Jonas Cybrid. I guess we're just looking at the building that they were in, and there's just one of the undead ninjas just sitting up here behind the moon, because everyone always is, just keeping an eye out on shit. And then we get different text boxes from a different voice, and someone shows up to Ninja Kid and he says, "Hey there, Bob, is that you?" And then kicks him in the face, knocks him down, and says, "Hell, you ain't Bob, you're just some freaking ninja. I wonder if he's down yonder. I wonder why I wonder." So, okay, so now there's another new character. Down here, undead ninjas are fighting Jonas Cybrid. He stands up and he's trying to tell them, like, you guys could have gotten away. You won't leave me alone, so you leave me no choice. So he takes off his coat. Jesus, was he wearing a coat? I guess he was. Yes, he was. He was wearing a trench coat. You know shit's about to go down when the trench coat comes off. So off goes the trench coat, and his cybernetic arms all transform into some fucking something here. I don't know. Claws, and then little laser guns pop out of his shoulders. Again, artistically, that's pretty cool. This Sam Liu kind of knows what he's doing. The guy's got skills. And Jonas Cybrid's pissed. He's transformed. It's time to roll out and fucking murder some ninjas. Holy shit. There's a dynamic shot. Flexing and posing and extending and stretching and going into crazy angles. His right arm coming forward. The tech on this giant laser weapon thing. That's pretty wild. And the pose on the legs as he kicking ninjas in the face. It's pretty dynamic. And again, the coloring for the era, it's pretty freaking good. Blowing ninjas in half. Hell yeah. Little lasers around his shoulders just shooting off in all directions. And then he does a jump, tuck and roll, transforms into a basketball, and then lands on top of the Buddha head, stands there in heavy shadow looking awesome. He's transformed his laser hand into a claw hand. He's standing up there, and he's saying to himself all this internal monologuing. He says, by way of training, I am merciless. I kill with maximum efficiency and minimum effort. They don't ask me to like it, but they made me feel at home with it. Yes, I'm at home now, completely at ease. Everything I know about life comes from trying to end it. I'm so good at killing, I could die. And he jumps. I was going to say he jumps out, but he just jumps. I guess he just jumps off the Buddha head because he's on top of it. But then now the Buddha head is behind him and there's a bunch of arrows. I thought he killed all the ninjas, honestly. But he jumps down, moon behind him because it always is there. Cut to a world away. It literally says that. Helicopter lands. And now we got more new bad guys. Bad guy shows up, and then this is the rock climbing bad guy. And rock climbing bad guy's on the phone saying, I want this thing. Do whatever you have to do to get me the thing that I want because I'm evil. Bribe people, involve them in scandals, whatever it takes. Anyway, now that rock climbing bad guy is meeting with new bad guy and young guy and hot girl, and so lead new bad guy says, I have failed you. I have not done what you have asked. I've been remiss in my duties. As a demonstration to my earnestness, I offer you The life of my son. So young Clark Kent looking bad guy with the glasses. He says, new bad guy says he shall be, shall we say, collateral for the return of your property. They want the return of Jonas Cybrid. So rock climbing bad guy takes a drink and tells one of his bodyguards, he's like, yo, my dude. And my dude shoots Clark Kent's son right in the head, kablam. So new bad guy surrendered his own firstborn son, and rock climbing bad guy kills him. There's a lot of evilness going on here. So now rock climbing bad guy's like, hey, don't fuck up again. I don't tolerate that kind of shit. And I like this close-up on the guy's face, close-up on the eyes, but at least there's some time and effort on the shading going on. It's really well drawn. He's like, don't ever fail me again, you fucking douchebag. Is that clear? So new bad guy goes back to his helicopter with hot girl that's with him. The helicopter closes, they take off, and guy who just looks like the son that got shot, he's standing there holding the world's longest Raphael weapon, and new bad guy's saying, stupid rock climbing bad guy thought that I'd be dumb enough to sacrifice my own son. What a fucking dumbass. So everyone's betraying everybody. It's all bad guy stuff. Very exciting. The shot of the hands crisscrossed and the fingers, like that's taking some effort. Hands fucking suck. This guy's really good at hands. The hands there. Yeah, he's a great artist. He's really good. Fucking Christ, we're back with undead ninjas. The hero of the book. All he's done is kill ninjas the entire book. Do we care? Droplet of water falls onto the ground. Or sweat from the last remaining ninja, I'm guessing. And he's got like predator-type laser sights on his forehead. As Ninja Kid stands there with a bow and arrow. And Jonas Cybrid, I guess he's done with murder. He says, do you want to live? And Ninja Kid says, yeah. So Jonas Cybrid says, then fuck off, get out of here, disappear, don't ever go back to anywhere you've ever been before, disappear, start a new life, vanish, go away. And so he lets one kid live. So kid ninja, whatever, young guy takes off, and up on the roof is, oh yeah, remember mysterious guy who killed the other ninja that was on top of the roof? There's so many things going on. This guy here, well, I guess he's still up there looking down. Cut back to Jonas Cybrid and all the dead bodies of ninjas of different colored outfits just sitting around. Now he's lamenting the horror that he has wrought by killing the shit out of everyone. He rips all their clothes open to gaze upon their sweaty, glistening male bodies, just wondering what he might do with them. So he piles them into a big sex pile and looks at all their tattoos. And maybe he should just light them on fire. But no, he's like, oh, the bad guys are sending these guys after me. That's stupid. That's dumb. How am I ever going to escape my horrible past? And then I guess the ninja bodies start steaming and melting together and creating a bomb, and it explodes inside the building. So Jonas Cybrid has to jump out of the way. So the big man pile blows up. Sure, he's on the ground. And then here's a dude with guns and a trench coat. And he says, that's okay, boy. You needn't bother getting up. Not that it matters much at this point, but the name's Preacher John. It ain't nothing personal, but I have to say, I ain't never cared much for cyborgs. And Jonas Cybrid's sitting there. That's a good drawing. I like that drawing right there. So, new characters got him at barrel's end. We're supposed to really care. I guess we kind of can. It's pretty typical stuff, but it's all really well drawn. Penciling's great, inking's great, coloring's great. Characters kind of like he's just a cybernetic ninja that kills regular ninjas, and I guess we're supposed to care. So right there, this is that book that I was talking about. This thing, that's on my channel. I've reviewed that thing. That was the first appearance of Cybrid. They say it right there. Extreme Zero is what it is. Like, if you could find it, it's kind of hard to find. That's the first appearance of many characters, including Cybrid, Risk, Law and Order, Black Flag, Code 9, and Lancers. None of those happened, except maybe Black Flag, right? Law and Order, I don't know. I didn't collect any of them. There's Danny Meeke, the inker, some rough sketch pages, and then the kind of finished pages to kind of show how they changed from thumbnails to final page. Hot girls standing back to back for ads. The Blood Pool, never read those. almost black and white artwork from Stephen Platt. Those of us who were artists at the time loved seeing stuff like that, especially close up, kind of high resolution, black and white, kind of just the detailed art of Platt. We were into that. Berserkers, I reviewed all those. They're terrible. Chapel number 1, that's fucking death blow, right? Crypt number 1. A lot of stuff going on. I have to say, for all the kind of hyperbolic, joking bullshitting I'm kind of saying about the book, it's not too bad at all, actually. The cover, again, for Liefeld, it's kind of okay, but the artist really kind of nailed it. The inking, the coloring. Is there a hook? That's the thing. There's the ultimate thing. Extreme Studios was pumping out a shit ton of books to have like a huge share of like Image Comics, like publishing pie. Like, we publish all these books, and so we're a big part of the income to fund the company. So therefore, maybe we have a bigger say in the politics of everything because we're the biggest publisher of books. But how many of them were memorable and awesome? It all comes down to is like, you can have a cliche idea. Guy transformed into cybernetic warrior who's sad about his life and he needs to get away from his horrible past and find a future. That's all fine, but there's got to be a hook. What makes it unique? What makes it stand out? What's different from this shit that we've read a million times? And so far, nothing. There's no unique hook. It's just, we've seen this. It's well drawn. I kind of love the anime kind of inspired guy fighting ninjas. That's always fun. So that's good times. But what's the draw? What makes you want to keep coming back in terms of story? For me, there's got to be some kind of unique spin on the idea. And so far, there's none. I don't know if this book went to multiple issues or not. Honestly, I don't know where it went. So I'm kind of curious, but ultimately it's kind of not bad. There's way worse books from this studio and way less talented artists doing other things. But yeah, overall, this kind of sits comfortably in the mid pack, I would say, and they could kind of hold their heads high. It's not bad. It's kind of okay. But like I said, I'm just kind of looking for that. Like, what's the unique thing about it? It kind of doesn't feel like there is one. So I don't know. Kind of curious. Who knows where this book went? Did this character keep showing up? Is there more? What happened? So anyway, Cybrid, number 1. That's all I got for this one. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. See you next time.